Welcome to Igbo Language Made Easy. My name is Joseph. In this video, we'll look at how to ask questions in Igbo language. There are at least 3 ways to ask questions in Igbo language. The first one is to use interrogative words. In English language, for instance, we use words like what, who, when, where, why, and how to ask questions. Similarly, in Igbo language, we have words like ole and gene. Armed with these 2 words, you can ask whatever question you want to ask in Igbo language. Using these words to ask questions will elicit comments from the person you are asking the question. What I mean by this is that when you want to get more than yes or no for an answer to a question, you use ole or gene. Definitely, the person you are interrogating will give you more than yes or no for an answer. Let's look at few examples. Example 1. Gịnị bụ aha gị? What is your name? You notice the word gịnị is used to start this question, isn't it? Now, look at the second one. Olee ebe ị na-aga? Where are you going to? You'll notice that ole is used to start this question. Another example. Olee mgbe ụlọ akwụkwọ ga-emepe? When will school resume? You'll also notice that ole is used. The last example, gịnị ka ị chọrọ iri? What do you want to eat? You'll notice that gịnị is now used to start this question. The second way to ask questions in Igbo language is to use the tone of your voice to indicate a question. Now, the challenge with this method is that if you fail to adjust your tone appropriately, what you say will turn out to be a declarative sentence rather than a question. This kind of question most times require a yes or no answer. Let's look at some examples. Ị ga-eri nri ugbu a. You will eat now. It is not a question. You are simply telling the person he or she will eat now. But that same sentence can be a question if you adjust the tone of your voice when you say the first word, which is a letter. I. Ị ga-eri nri ugbu a. Do you notice now there is a change in the tone of my voice? And that has turned it to a question. Will you eat now? Let's look at another example. Ọ lụrụ nwanyị n'afọ gara aga. He got married last year. It's a straightforward declarative sentence. But if you adjust the tone of your voice, especially when you say the first word, which is a letter in this case, or it will become a question. Now look at it this way. Ọ lụrụ nwanyị n'afọ gara aga. Did he marry last year? You see, it now becomes a question. I hope you noticed something. What is that? Did you notice diacritics on the first letters of the interrogative sentence? Those little marks on top of the first letters of the interrogative sentences is what I'm referring to. They help a writer to show that the sentence should be read as an interrogative, not a declarative sentence. The diacritics will help you read the sentence as a question, even before seeing the question mark at the end of the sentence. Now, let's go to the third way of asking questions in Igbo language. The third way to ask questions in Igbo language is to add the word kwano to what you want to ask about or after. Now, this method, though, is informal. You don't use it in formal communications, and you don't use it when you are speaking to someone who is older than you, because some people might see it as being disrespectful. But you are free to use it when you are talking to your peers or to people who are younger than you. But the truth is that this form is the easiest way to ask questions, this third one. Let's look at some examples. Nwunye gi kwano. Nwunye gi kwano. If you've watched our video on family relations and what they are called, you will notice that nwunye is wife. Gi is you. Nwunye gi, your wife kwano. That is the literal way to translate it. So by me saying your wife, the next thing you need to add is just kwano, and it becomes a question. How is your wife? Let's look at the second example. Oru kwano. Oru is work. So, mentioning work, you now add kwano, you are now asking about work. How is work? That is what it means. Let's look at the third example. Ụgbọala gị kwano. If you've watched our video on transportation, you must have learned that ụgbọala is car. So the person is asking about your car. How is your car? Maybe your car got spoiled, or maybe you usually drive a car and the person sees you walking. The person might ask you, ụgbọala gị kwano. What about your car? Nri m kwano. Nri is food. That letter M, is me. So this is about me, my food. I'm asking, where is my food? Nri m kwano. Another one is ezinụlọ gị kwano. Ezinụlọ is family. Then, like I said earlier, gị is you. So it's about your family. Your family kwano. That is what it means literally. So, how is your family? That is what the person is asking. I hope you've understood these three ways to ask questions in Igbo language. Well, let me try to recap what I've just said about three ways to ask questions. The first one we've looked at today is to use interrogative words that will help you to ask questions. And we have words like ole and gene. When we use these two words, we can form whatever questions we want to form in Igbo language. The second thing we also looked at is to adjust the tone of our voice. When we adjust the tone of our voice to change a declarative sentence to an interrogative one, the person we are talking to will understand that we are asking a question. And the last one we just looked at is to add the word kwano to what we want to ask after or ask about. When we add kwano to such words or group of words, they automatically become a question. Thanks for watching this video. Igbo language is a diacritical language, as you must have noticed. This means that there are so many words that have the same spelling in Igbo language. You spell them the same way. The only way you now differentiate them is the tone or how and where you choose to stress the word. So in our next video, we will look at such words and how they should be pronounced. Until then, have a nice day. Que Mesia.